Good morning, everyone. Michael Fanning. This is 497, and I'm sorry you might hear a blower. I think my neighbors are blowing their leaves at an ungodly hour in the morning. Anyways, it is what it is. So what's my talk about today? So this morning I was listening to a podcast. I took a few notes here. It's called Feel Better, Live More by Dr. Chatterjee. And he had a gentleman on there who was talking about aging, talking about how we can actually reverse the aging in our lives. And just to give you a little bit of my backstory, so I did unfortunately lose both my parents to cancers. And about that time when I lost my mom, I was also engaging in a world doing some coaching with a gentleman by the Robin Sharma with the Titan Academy. And one of the things he said in there, he said, if we think about our lives, when we're young, we have really good health, but very limited resources. And then as we hit our middle ages, we have good health, but our resources are typically being used by, other members of the family or situations in our life. But then when we get older, we have really good resources, but we have poor health because we've made poor choices about how we choose to, exercise, eat, those types of things, stress, all kinds of stuff. And so it got me thinking. So I did some deep diving at that time. And also at that time, I'd gone in for my annual physical and my cholesterol was high. And my doctor was like, well, we got to get this under control. So at that time, I picked up a book by Dr. Fung called Intermittent Fasting. And I started reading that book, and I realized that fasting was going to be the answer. It was going to be the answer for me to, when I'm old, to enjoy my resources. It was the answer for me to stave off any type of disease because it will put my body in a better state. And good news, I just did my annual physical, and I have very low cholesterol levels. And so, and all I did was I just ate less. And so in this podcast, Dr. Chatterjee is actually talking to a doctor who's talking about, the power of fasting. And I gotta tell you guys, we eat way too much food as Americans. If you want to see, just walk into a Starbucks any morning and look at the type of beverages and the type of food that's being purchased for breakfast eating. When we think we have to eat 3 meals a day, we don't. We actually don't. And actually, we're in a much healthier state when we reduce the amount of food that we consume. So I'm going to put a link to the podcast in there. I want you to listen to it. But I just want to tell you from my personal experience, I've now been fasting for almost 3.5 years. And it's amazing just the way you feel, the energy you have, and what you're able to accomplish in a given day because of just how your body feels and how you stave off sickness. And here I am talking to you because I have a cold, but nonetheless, when I started fasting, it was amazing how very rarely I ever get sick. Just a lot of benefits. And so the book, by the way, is called The Guide to Intermittent Fasting by Dr. Fung, but I'm going to put a link to the podcast because I want you to listen to this conversation. And maybe you want to think about how you might want to think about the rest of your life, right? And what's it going to look like when you get to that elderly state? And are you going to be able to enjoy your resources? All right, everybody. Hopefully that was helpful. Be awesome, help somebody. Make it a great day. Talk to you later.